So in this video, we are going to learn about the Union Parliament. So in this video, we will also learn about the components of the Parliament, the composition of the two houses, exclusive powers of the two houses, co-equal powers of the two houses, functions of the Speaker, and the powers of the Parliament. So first of all, let's learn about the components of the Parliament. So the Indian Parliament comprises of three bodies: the President of India, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajsabha. All three bodies combinedly form the Parliament of India. Now, we will see about the composition of Rajsabha. So, Rajsabha is also known as the upper house of the parliament. It has a maximum strength of 250 members, in which 238 members are elected and 12 members are nominated by the President of India from four fields, that is, art, literature, science, and social service. So, from these fields, 12 members are nominated by the President of India. And the elected members of the Rajya Sabha are indirectly elected by the elected members of the state legislative assemblies and the UTs which have legislative assemblies, that is, Delhi, Puducherry, and Jammu and Kashmir. So these union territories have the legislative assemblies. Plus all the states have the legislative assemblies. So the members of those legislative assemblies indirectly elect the members of Rajya Sabha. The term of members is 6 years. And you must keep in mind that Rajya Sabha is a non-dissolving house. It cannot be dissolved by the President of India, unlikely Lok Sabha. The Vice President of India is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Now come to the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is also known as the lower house of the parliament. It has a maximum strength of 550. Earlier, two Anglo-Indian members were also nominated by the President, but this provision was removed by the 104th Constitutional Amendment Act 2019. And the members are directly elected by the adult citizen of India. And the term of the Lok Sabha and the members of the Lok Sabha both are 5 years. It can be dissolved by the President of India on the advice of the Prime Minister. The Speaker is the presiding officer. Now, come to the exclusive powers of the Rajya Sabha. So let's talk about the powers and functions of Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha checks on hasty legislation. It reduces the workload of the Lok Sabha. And as a permanent house, as we have seen that Rajya Sabha is a non-dissolving house, it plays a vital role when the Lok Sabha gets dissolved. It can get the expert opinions and views of 12 talented nominated members. And by passing a resolution supported by 2/3 members of the Rajya Sabha, it can create new All India services. As we know, there are 3 All India services, that is Indian Administrative Service or IAS, Indian Police Service or IPS, and Indian Forest Service. So if a new All India services has to create, it can be created by the Rajya Sabha by a resolution supported by 2/3 members. Also, by passing a resolution supported by 2/3 members, it can request the parliament to make law of any subject of the state list for national interest. So as we know, according to the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution, there is a bifurcation of power between center and state. But even in the subjects mentioned in the state list, if the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution supported by 2/3 members, the parliament gets the power to even legislate on that matter. So we can say that Rajya Sabha is the representation of state. It can represent new issues and changing public opinion in a better manner. Now let's talk about the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha can pass the budget, and in any matter related to the budget, then the Lok Sabha has a greater say. Only in Lok Sabha we can introduce the money bill. Also, because of the majority in the Lok Sabha itself, any political party form the government. So, we can table and pass the no confidence motion in the Lok Sabha only, and also the adjournment motion as well. It creates and supports the government. It spreads political knowledge through debate and discussion, and it also enables the people to express their feeling and grievance through their related representative, because the representative present in the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people of India. Now let's talk about the co-equal powers of the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. So both the houses enjoys co-equal powers in these matters. That is, the election and impeachment of the President of India, the election of the Vice President of India, impeachment of the judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, promulgation of ordinances, promulgation of constitutional amendment, proclamation of emergency, and also creation of a new state. So on these matters, Rajsabha and the Lok Sabha has equal powers. Now we will see the functions of the speaker. So speaker presides over the meeting of the Lok Sabha. It decides whether a bill is a money bill or not. And according to the Constitution of India, its decision is final. It also decides the admissibility of a question and a motion of adjournment. It gives his casting vote to break a tie. See, whenever any motion is presented in the Lok Sabha, the speaker would not vote in the first go. It only vote when there is a tie. He gives the permission to strangers and press reporters to the galleries of the Lok Sabha. He communicates the decision of the Lok Sabha to the concerned authorities. He also has the charge to maintain order in the Lok Sabha, and he also may adjourn the House. He may instruct a member to remove an unparliamentary word from his speech. He decides if a member may be disqualified on the basis of anti-defection law that is mentioned in the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution. He himself is the ex-officer chairman of some of the committees of the House. He appoints the chairman of other committees of the House and guides them. And if the government wants to keep a matter secret, but the chairman demand to know about it, the matter is decided by the speaker. Also, he presides over the joint sitting of both the houses of the parliament whenever needed. Now, what are the powers of the Union Parliament? First of all, let's see the legislative powers. So, the Union Parliament makes law on the subjects of the Union list and the concurrent list. Also, it makes laws on the subjects of the state list under the following occasions: during the emergency period, if two or more states request the parliament to make law on any subject of the state list, or if two-thirds members of the Rajsabha passes a resolution and requests the parliament to make law on any subject of the state list. It approves the ordinances issued by the president. It possesses the residuary power as well, means it can make law on the subjects not mentioned in the union, state or concurrent list. Now, financial powers. So, money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. It passes the budget, and if the budget is not passed by April 1st, the device of vote on account enables a minister to draw funds from the consolidated fund of India. The salaries and allowance of the MP and ministers are determined with the parliament. After the passage of the budget, if any government department finds the amount to be insufficient, it can put a fresh demand in the form of supplementary grant. Now let's talk about the executive powers. The parliament controls the executive in the following ways: by asking questions during the question hour, interpellation, by tabling the no confidence motion, adjournment motion, cut motion, censure motion, and by asking questions during the zero hour. Now, electoral powers. It elects the President of India and Vice President of India. The Lok Sabha elects the Speaker, and the Raj Sabha elects the Deputy Chairman. Because, as we know, the Vice President of India is the ex-officio chairman of Rajsabha. Judicial powers. It can remove the President by impeachment. A judge of the Supreme Court or High Court can only be removed after a joint address by both houses. It may punish a person for disrespecting the House or obstructing the business of the Parliament. Power to amend the Constitution. So, it is one of the most important powers, because through this way, Indian Constitution can be amended. So, the bill to amend the Constitution may originate either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. In each house, it should be passed by a majority of the total membership of the house and the two-thirds majority of the members present and voting. The President is compelled to give assent to the Constitutional Amendment Bill. It means the President of India cannot reject the Constitutional Amendment Bill which has been passed by the both houses of the Parliament. So, that's it in this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.